If you run a B2B service, you know the cycle. You spend weeks hunting for a new client, you finally land the contract, and then you immediately stop marketing because you have to actually do the work. By the time the project wraps up, your pipeline is completely empty. You are back to square one, trading the hours you should be billing for hours spent grinding through cold outreach. This operational bottleneck is exactly what Outreach claims to eliminate. It's a platform built to automate the entire cold email process, using artificial intelligence to scrape lead data, enrich profiles, and draft the messages for you. The sales material makes a very specific promise: a self-replenishing sales pipeline that requires zero manual effort. You load the leads, and the software handles the targeting, the writing, and the follow-ups, while you focus on fulfillment. If that architecture actually works, it removes the heaviest friction point in a service business. But if the AI requires constant babysitting, you are just trading one administrative headache for another. Cold email requires a delicate balance. You need enough volume to actually generate meetings, but if you blast out identical messages to thousands of people, your deliverability collapses. This chart maps out the problem. On the horizontal axis, we have manual effort versus automation. On the vertical axis, we have low sending volume versus high volume. Traditional cold email sits right down here in the bottom left. You write highly personalized emails by hand, which gets a good response rate, but you can only physically send a few dozen a day. Outreach attempts to operate entirely in the top right, high volume, fully automated. But functioning in this quadrant triggers a massive technical hazard: domain risk. When you send thousands of automated emails from a single address, modern inbox providers like Gmail and Outlook notice the unnatural spike in activity. If they flag your account, your primary business domain gets permanently blacklisted, meaning even your normal emails to existing clients will go straight to the spam folder. The true test of Outreach isn't whether it can generate text, it's whether its internal architecture can push high volumes of mail through those spam defenses without torching your company's sender reputation. To bypass those volume filters, Outreach relies on a structural defense mechanism called round-robin routing. This diagram shows how routing works. Instead of pushing messages through one bottleneck, the campaign distributes the send load across a wide network. The software rotates outgoing messages across multiple separate inboxes, keeping the daily send volume of each account well below radar limits. But the software doesn't generate those email accounts for you. You have to purchase and configure multiple secondary domains yourself. That means buying the domain names, setting up the DNS records, and manually warming up those secondary workspace accounts over several weeks. You use these disposable domains to shield your primary business address from negative spam reports. While the daily sending is automated, getting to that point requires a heavy upfront investment in IT administration and infrastructure costs. You aren't eliminating the work of cold email. Outreach shifts your burden from manually typing out messages to acting as an IT administrator managing a complex network of inboxes. Deliverability isn't just about volume. Email providers also scan for content repetition. If you send the exact same text to 100 people, you get flagged as a broadcaster and blocked. Outreach addresses this using AI lead enrichment and a technology called Spintax. Spintax is a formatting method that generates multiple variations of a single sentence by swapping out synonymous words and phrases. This comparison shows the difference.
On the left is a standard mass blast template. On the right, the Outrich engine spins the phrasing of the core offer for every single lead, ensuring no two emails are structurally identical. At the same time, the AI module scans the prospect's recent company news and industry moves to generate a unique, highly targeted icebreaker for the opening line. By combining custom research with Spintax variations, the system mathematically guarantees that every message looks like a one-off, organic email to the spam filters. But relying on this automation introduces a critical trade-off. You are entirely surrendering your company's first impression to an autonomous system. If the AI hallucinates or pulls irrelevant data from the wrong company profile, it will confidently send a highly personalized but completely nonsensical email to a high-value prospect. The AI personalization successfully solves the mathematical problem of getting past spam filters, but it introduces the very real operational risk of automated reputational damage. If you look at the Outreach pricing tiers, specifically the all-inclusive package, the sheer volume of bundled software and reseller licenses is overwhelming. This scorecard helps cut through the noise. We have the core outreach engine on the left and the bundled extras on the right, which we can cross out entirely. The only features that actually impact your B2B revenue generation are the round-robin routing, the spin tax capabilities, the automated replies, and the analytics tracking. The top-tier bundles in tools like Webira, an AI site builder, and Converti, a website widget app. If your immediate goal is to fix a broken sales pipeline, learning to use entirely separate web design software is a complete operational distraction. When evaluating outreach, ignore the business-in-a-box marketing fluff. Judge the platform strictly on the strength of its email deliverability and AI targeting capabilities. The sales page claims this platform requires no manual effort or training. That is objectively false. Outreach does not eliminate effort. It is a highly complex mechanical system. It takes the hours you used to spend typing emails and translates them into the heavy technical work of managing DNS records, monitoring inbox health, and reviewing AI outputs. The true return on investment depends on your willingness to push through that high friction during the initial setup phase. If you build the infrastructure correctly, the long-term payoff is a consistent, automated mechanism for lead generation. However, that mechanism only turns a profit if your underlying business offer is already tested and proven to convert cold traffic into paying clients. Your decision to use outreach should be dictated strictly by the size of your operation and your capacity to manage technical infrastructure. This decision tree maps out the exact paths based on your specific needs. If you are a solo freelancer who only needs to reach a few dozen targeted prospects a week, Path A leads to the Outreach Elite tier. But you must commit to manually verifying the AI-generated icebreakers before they send, protecting your personal brand from automated errors. For B2B agencies that need serious volume to feed a sales team, Path B leads to the Outreach Pro tier. This gives you the 20 account capacity you need, assuming you have the staff to actively manage that complex web of secondary domains. And if you are looking for an instant, zero-effort client machine that you can just turn on and walk away from, follow Path C. Do not buy the software. Outreach provides the infrastructure to build a powerful outreach engine. You still must supply the fuel, maintain the parts, and close the deals yourself.